The WWE in 2026. Hello everybody, I want to talk to you today about why wrestling is not as good as it was 20 plus years ago. Okay, so I have been a massive wrestling fan my whole life, and I've seen the evolution, if you would, of the WWE. I've seen it go through the Attitude Era to Ruthless Aggression, and now it is at the new generation, the new era. The WWE today is nowhere near as good. The reason why is because I feel that TKO, the company that has just taken over WWE, is doing everything in its power to charge fans so much money to see the show, and the show's not even very good. And now, listen, it's not the performers, okay? It's the story and it's the writers themselves. Have you watched Unreal? If you haven't, I highly recommend you check it out. It's actually really fascinating. So, TKO has taken over WWE, and they are pretty much a advertisement company. So, brand friendly, and what they're doing with the WWE, which is something I don't like, is they're putting brands that are sponsorships, on everything. Tables, ladders, even chairs. And it's like, why? Wrestling should be just that. Okay, wrestling should be telling a story. Two guys wrestle, two girls wrestle to resolve a problem, put on the best show you can, and entertain the audience. That, my friends, is what wrestling should be about. Not about how much money they can make from sponsorships. That's my only gripe with wrestling today, is it's just nowhere near as good as it used to be. And if you ask me, the wrestlers of today, your Rhea Ripleys, your Charlotte Flairs, Austin Theories, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, all the greats, in my opinion, they're handcuffed. They're handcuffed with what they can do. And it's not fair. Someone like Rhea Ripley should be able to take a story to its absolute max. For example, okay, ready? The storyline between the Judgment Day. All right, you got Rhea Ripley, you had Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, which I don't really care for too much. He's got to win. He's got to win me over somehow. Maybe. Get back with your father and you might win me over again. Tag up with him again. Anyway, the Judgment Day was founded by Edge, Adam Copeland. Anyway, I'm getting off subject here. The point is, okay, Rhea Ripley is one of the greatest women's wrestlers ever, right? She performs, she inspires me, right? And I'm 32 years old this year, and I always wanted to wrestle every time I watch a Royal Rumble event. So that's it, really. Rhea Ripley is one of the greatest performers ever. And she's being handcuffed to what she can and can't do. WWE today it's not as good. And I know that some people would debate it, and please debate, We are all wrestling fans. I love it, and I know you do. So that's really it, my friends. WWE has changed, and it's not for the better. In my opinion, we need to ditch all the sponsorships on the ring, Prime, all this stuff, right? And get back to normal. I'll give you an example here, okay? One of the greatest storylines ever told in the wrestling industry was between The Undertaker and Kane, okay? Two legends. And they had the greatest story ever told. two brothers. Two brothers, you know, and one brother was, no, sorry. The father was pallbearer. Okay, I'll give you the backstory. There's a father, pallbearer, who was managing The Undertaker for about 7 years, I believe. And pallbearer worked at a funeral home. This is just a story. And in that funeral home were The Undertaker's parents, mum and dad, right? And they had a little boy named Kane. And there was a fire at the family funeral home. And unfortunately, Undertaker lost his parents, and they thought that Kane was gone forever. So that was The Undertaker's brother, Kane. The greatest character ever is The Undertaker. And Kane is right up there with him, the big red machine. So that was an unbelievable story. Today's WWE, they don't have stories like that anymore. And it's really sad. You know, it's like WWE has gone from being one of the greatest viewed programs ever. Okay? Now, this is just my opinion. Hey, I watch the shows, so I know. It's gone from being one of the greatest WWE wrestling events ever to just an advertisement. You know, I would be watching on Netflix, okay? WWE on Netflix, and their advertisements there's too many of them, right? There's way too many, and I'm watching it, I'm viewing it thinking, are we going to have more matches or what? So WWE, I still love, and I hope it stays around forever. I wish it was a better product, you know? Anyway, that's really about it, my friends, you know? I'll watch wrestling forever. Always will. It's the greatest thing ever. Greatest form of entertainment. I just wish that it was a better product. Less advertisement and more storytelling. All right, everybody, remember to like and subscribe. And me and this cute little dog here, we're going to say goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.